Alright guys, hello and welcome everyone to this new YouTube video. If you are an automation tester or a SDET or someone who is trying to learn Selenium using Java and trying to learn automation, this video is for you. In this video, we are going to do live coding and I'm going to build a project end to end in which we are going to automate an e-commerce website. Alright, so even if you are a beginner, you don't know anything, don't worry, I'm here. I'm going to explain each and every line of the code with you along with the concepts involved in that particular line. This is not going to be a very complex project. It's a very beginner friendly and it's a simple one. Alright, you can choose to code along with me or you can do it later after the video ends. It totally depends on you. What I want to say is, once I start coding, if you are also coding with me and if you have the project built, you can add this project to your resume. And at the end, trust me, by the end of this video, you will be ahead of most of the coders in your company. And trust me, you will be able to crack many and more interviews. So this is going to be a building block. I just want your attention to stay by the end of this video. Alright, so without wasting any time, let's move ahead and let's begin with the project. So here we go. On the screen, you can see the particular website that we are going to automate right now. Okay. So this is a test website which everyone can use, either me, you, or anyone can access it. I have chosen this website for a particular purpose because this website is a full-fledged e-commerce website which gives you the flexibility to access all the features that are there in an e-commerce platform. So if you are in a company who is an e-commerce, if you learn automating right now in this website, you will surely do it in your website as well. And as well, you can add this project in your resume as well, which showcase your good skills. All right. So first, what we are going to do, first I'm going to show you manually everything that what we are going to do in the automation, and then I'm going to automate it. All right. So this is the URL that you can access, automationexercise.com. This is the e-commerce platform, and for convenience I have already created an account. Okay, so if you just open this website for the first time, you will be able to see a screen like this where you will be able to see a button of sign up and login. Before starting the automation, I will recommend you to just sign up using your email address or using your name. Okay, after you sign up, then the actual testing process begins. Okay, so we are testing it from login, and then after login, what we will do, we will add this product to the cart. First of all, we will view this product. So this is called as product description page. Okay, on the screen in your, what you can see is a product description page. We will go one by one. I will show you. First of all, first we have to log in. I've already created an account and the account says Akash, and I have already created a password as well. Okay, and then after entering the email ID and password, I can just log in over here. Okay, Akash@123. This is the email which I have signed in. Okay, and I can just log into this. So this will be my first step of my automation. The first step is to log in, and after logging in, we will check if the user has successfully logged in or not. And how do you check if the user has successfully logged in? You can see that logout button will appear. So this will be my test case number 1, that login is successful. After login is successful, we will move to the product listing page. So in any e-commerce platform, you will find these pages. The first page is your home page. So right now I'm at the home page. We will do certain validations over here, like checking the text is present or not, checking the category is present or not, checking the brand is present or not. This will be my first level of validation on this home page. Alright. The second validation will be on my product listing page. So to go to product listing page, I click on products over here. And this will be my product listing page. Okay. So in product listing page, you will be able to see this many products. So now in this page, what validations are required? The validations are required is if you are able to search a product or not, and how many products are visible. You can, if you are see the product cards or not. Okay, And now we will go to product description page. So manually I'm doing it right now first of all, and then I will show you how to do it in automation. So now we will go to view product. As soon as we go to view product, I will see the product description page. In this page, we will do certain level of validations like the amount is visible or not, how much quantity you want to add. You can increase or decrease the number of quantity. Alright. After increasing and decreasing the number of quantity, you can choose it to add to cart. And from this page, we will add to cart. And this pop-up will appear. We will also verify this pop-up is appearing or not. And then I will click on continue shopping. And now I will go to shopping cart. So to go to shopping cart, this is my cart button. I will click here and I will validate that the whatever product that I have added to the cart, the same product is getting added to the cart or not. I will also validate the quantity, that how much quantity of the product is getting added. And after that, I will also verify the price and quantity. So the price multiplied by quantity should be my grand total, and this should be validated. After all of this validation, I will move to proceed to checkout button. So this is my proceed to checkout. I click on proceed to checkout. And now this is my checkout page. So these are the most important pages which you will find in any e-commerce platform. The first will be your home page. Second will be your product listing page. Third will be your product description page. Fourth will be your cart. And now the fifth one, which is the checkout page. So now we are at the checkout page. We will do certain validations over here. And after doing the validations, we can validate like if the amount is correct or not, if the price is correct or not, if the quantity is correct or not, right? We can validate if the address section is visible or not, if address details this is visible or not. And then I go to place order. This is my place order button. Then we will click on the place order button. After I click on place order button, I can randomly add any card number over here. I can just write Akash as name on the card. I can randomly add 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 or whatever you want. Randomly add CVV like 311 and expiration date like let's say 9 and 2029. Okay. And after adding all of these details, I click on pay and confirm order. And after I click on pay and confirm order, the final order placed screen has been displayed. And it says that congratulations, your order has been confirmed. And after all of this, I can just click on download invoice and the invoice will be downloaded. So this is the entire flow that what we are going to actually automate in our journey, right? Cool. So if you have any doubt till here, you can just leave a comment. I will reply to all of your comment. And with this, we will move ahead to our automation and we will automate everything that we have seen in the screen right now. So let's move ahead. Okay, so now to begin with, basically we need to first of all check the Java version and Maven version in our system. So if you are an automation engineer, if you want to build the automation project, the two important thing which should be there in your computer is the Java and Maven. So first of all, I am on MacBook, so I will open my terminal. Okay, if you are on your Windows, you can open your command prompt accordingly. Alright. And in terminal, first of all, I will check the Java version installed in my system. So you need to check if Java is installed in your system or not, and if Maven is installed in your system or not. So Java dash version. Okay. And this will give me the Java version Java 22.0.2. And after that, I will also need to check the Maven version which is there in my system. So I will do Maven dash version. Alright. Okay, Maven command not found, so it will be mvn dash version. Probably this command will work. Okay, so you can see I have Apache Maven 3.9.8 and also I have the Java basically installed in my computer. If not, you can just install Java and Maven. It's a very simple step. You can just drop a comment if you don't know how to install it yet. Okay, cool. So let's move ahead now and let's create our brand new project for the automation. So I'll come on IntelliJ. I will click on file new and project. So I will create a new project. I have to name the project according to whatever I name it. So let me name it as automation testing website automation. Okay, so basically as we are automating the automation testing website, so I'm naming it as automation testing website automation. Depending on your choice, you can choose whatever name you want to keep it. You can now choose the location where you want to save the project. I have my location already pre-selected. If not, you can just browse through and you can probably choose to save your code anywhere you want. Okay, so I'm just saving it here right now in my codes. Okay, and let's move ahead and let's click on advanced setting. Right now this group id and artifact id is not required. You can just ignore it for the time being and just click on create, and it will create a brand new project. Okay, right now you will understand that this project what I have created, this is just a simple plain Java project. Okay, this is not a Selenium project right now, and we have to convert this Java project into Selenium project, basically our automation project. And how do we do that? So to do this, we have basically 4 type of dependency that needs to be installed in the project, and it's not very difficult. Let me show you. First of all, this is your project structure. I hope you understand how the project structure basically looks like. Basically you have an src. In src you will have 2 types of folder. One is the main folder, another is the test folder. Okay, I will tell you in test folder what are the files that we keep, and in main folder what are the files that we keep. But for now time being, you can understand in main folder we have one Java folder. Inside Java folder all the Java files will be kept, and inside resources folder any other XML files or payloads or JSON or feature file, those to be kept in resources folder. Similarly, if you close main and if you open test, in test also you have a Java folder where you keep all your Java files. And last thing that you need to know is pom.xml. This is the most important thing that you should know while running your project. So let me open pom.xml. It's already open in my screen. You can see here. Okay. So now you will able to see that this is my POM. So basically what is POM and what does it actually defines? It actually defines the configuration and the dependency, whatever is there in your project. Any properties are required or not. So you can see right now I have the group ID, I have the artifact ID, I have the version. Okay. This 3 is already there. If you want, you can change it. And I have properties as well. Now I need to convert this into a Selenium project. So to convert this into a Selenium project, you need to have dependency. And let me explain you what dependency do we need. So I will write open closing bracket and dependencies. So this is how you add a dependency in your system, in your project basically. And the four dependency that we need is TestNG, Cucumber, Selenium, and WebDriver. So first of all, the first dependency that we need, let's install it. That is Selenium. So I go to Chrome and I go to MVN repository. So everyone have to go to this MVN repository. You find all the dependencies over here. You click on this repository and you can see this many dependencies are there. There are thousands of dependencies that someone has already created, and it can be used at anywhere, wherever you want. So first dependency, what do I need? I need Selenium. Okay, so in the first one you can see Selenium Java. This one you have to select and you just scroll down a little bit and you can see the versions, whatever you want. Okay, so let me take the latest version, which is 4.35, and let me click on this. As soon as you click on this, you will see this piece of code over here. You just need to copy this code and you just need to add it to your project inside dependencies. So basically what we are doing right now here, this means whenever we are adding this code to our dependency section, and now what will happen, we will build the project, and as soon as we build the project, what will happen, the code will automatically download the dependency from the internet. Basically when I write this dependency like this, I am telling my project that hey project, do something for me, download this dependency. Right now you can see this is red in color because I have not reloaded the project, I have not refreshed the project. Here you can see a Maven refresh button. If you are not able to see this button, you can just click on Maven over here, and you have a refresh button here as well, reload all Maven project. So as soon as I click on this reload all Maven project, basically it will reload the project and download the dependency that is required from the internet. So let's reload it. I've clicked on reload. Here you can see it's reloading, resolving dependency. It is basically downloading from internet. Now you see the red color error is gone, and congratulations, you have just converted your project from Java to Selenium. Now this is a Selenium project as I have already installed now Selenium in my project. But wait a second, we need more dependencies, and I will tell you why. So I come here to Maven repository again and I search for WebDriver Manager. Okay, so the first WebDriver is the one that we need, which is io.github.onigarica, okay, whatever it is. So we click on this and I go and I fetch the latest version, and this is the code that we need for WebDriver. Now why do we need a WebDriver? Let me tell you that, but before that let me add it. First of all, let's add it here and let's refresh it. So you can see this is downloading the dependency, and congratulations, the dependency is now resolved. But why do we need WebDriver basically? So you can understand we have already installed Selenium, and now Selenium is just a framework, okay, it's just a way of writing code. It will give you some tags like before, after, test case and all of this. But what we are going to do, we are going to actually control the Chrome driver, we are going to actually control the Chrome browser, right, with the help of a code. So to control the Chrome browser, we need a Chrome driver, right? We cannot directly, control the Chrome browser with our code. It has certain protocols. The Google Chrome says that here is the WebDriver, you use this WebDriver and you control the Chrome from this WebDriver, so that they have all the data that whatever you are doing and everything, right? So it's just a way to control the Chrome browser. So for that we need a Chrome driver, and what we can do, we can directly go to internet and download Chrome driver manually, something like this. If I go here and I write download Chrome driver, I can do that. I can come here and I can download this Chrome driver, and then what I can do, I can just add it to the path over here. But since we have evolved so much as a human, now what we have done, we have just directly added a dependency, and now we are telling our project that hey, I am not downloading the Chrome browser manually, you do it for me. I am just telling you that you need to download Chrome browser and you need to download it from here, and that's it. Our code will do rest all the stuff, right? Let's move ahead and let's add our third dependency. Third dependency says that we need Cucumber. And why do we need Cucumber? Because since we are writing we don't need to search here, we need to search here, Cucumber. So why do we need Cucumber? So basically, since we are writing the code in a Cucumber style, and even you go to any industry, you go to any production level code, everyone writes the code in Cucumber style. So basically this Cucumber will help you to let you write feature files which is human readable, which is readable by any other person who is not a coder. Alright, so let's add this. I go to Cucumber 7.2.8 latest version, I copy this, okay, and I come here and I put this dependency. And one last dependency that we need is the test-ng. Okay, test-ng is a very useful and very powerful dependency, and we need this so that we can have certain annotations like before, after, test, and we can also run parallel test with the help of test-ng. It's very powerful, and I will show you while we are doing code, I will show you why this test-ng has been very useful when I will be using the functions from this particular dependency. Okay, so let's add this as well, and now let's refresh the project. So once I refresh, you will see all the dependency will be resolved. Cool, congratulations, all the dependency is now resolved, and now we are all set to do our coding. Okay, so now we will start. So basically I come to Java here. Okay, this is my main function, public static void main. Alright, so basically what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to define a Chrome browser. I'll just write it over here what I'm going to do. First of all, you have to define a web driver, basically web driver. And then what this web driver will do, this web driver will invoke the Chrome browser and let me run my test. Okay, next what I need to do, I need to have a runner file which will basically tell me that what I need to run, and how do I need to run. So here we will also configure our reports, generate report. This will also help me to generate report. Alright, and next we will have certain feature files, and then we will have our step definitions, and at the end we will have the Java files. Alright, and after this, in between of this, we will also define our constants and enums and hooks and every other file whatever is required. But this is the overall idea that what we are going to write in our upcoming session. Alright, so without wasting time, let's move ahead. Okay, so here we go, and let's move ahead. So first of all, I will come to my main, and over here Java, and then we have test, and then we have Java. So the structure, what I'm thinking, that what the structure I will be doing is, I will keep all the hooks, all the constants on all the testing related Java file in my test folder, and all the Java files which are required for the business logic, that will be kept in my this main Java folder, and rest everything Java will be kept in my test Java folder. Okay, so our first goal is to create a hook that will invoke my web browser and it will invoke my web page, right? So let me create a hook first of all. So I will come here and I'll create a new package, and I will name this package as hooks. Okay, so the package is always named in small letters, so you just write it like this. Okay, and inside this hook I will create a new Java class, and I will name this as hooks. Okay, so here we will have our all the hooks, which will basically, the task of hooks is only to invoke the web browser and invoke our website. Cool. Okay, so now here we start with private web driver, and we will have web driver. So now you see this web driver, where is this coming from? It is coming from Selenium. So for this we had our web driver, we have our Selenium already installed. Okay, and now a semicolon, and then we start with our @before. Okay, cool. So first of all, you see we have our @before class. What this @before will do for us? So @before will work for you, and it will run every time you run a scenario. Right now, after some time, I will show you, we will be writing feature file. In that feature file we will be writing scenarios. So this @before will run after each and every before each and every scenario, and similarly we have @after as well, which will run after each and every scenario. So to run the scenario, what is important? It is important that we open the Chrome browser. So that's why we have our @before over here, and in this @before we will instruct our program that open the Chrome browser and then run our scenarios. Okay, so I can just have a function public void setup. Okay, so this setup is the function which you need to implement, and you need to write all the functionalities whatever you write. Okay, so we have our web driver over here, and we will define this web driver is equal to driver factory. So we will have a driver factory class, okay, where we write that how do we need to implement the Chrome. I will tell you how. So driver factory and dot, we will have certain functions. So right now driver factory is not created, that's why it is giving you a red color. Let's create a driver factory first of all. Okay, cool. So I will have one more package over here and I will name this package as config. So all the configs will be stored in this particular package. So the first config that we need is our driver factory. Okay, and let's create driver factory so that we can use it over here. Okay, cool. So okay, right, public. So we will I'm going to create all of these functions in the driver factory as static. Why static? Because I want to use this function directly in my hooks and directly across my project wherever I need. So that's why this is the only place where I'm using static function. So public static, and I will create our init browser, a new function called as init browser. Okay, and the type of this will be WebDriver. The return type of this will be WebDriver. So I'm going to return a WebDriver from this init browser. So what is happening over here? I'm writing a function init browser which will give me a WebDriver in return. Okay, cool. I can take input if you want. If you don't want, you don't take input. Okay, I can take input that which browser you want to open. Okay, and I will also write a check that if browser is not equal to a browser dot, not like this, a browser dot equals ignore case. Okay, and Chrome, I pass it Chrome over here. Okay, if this is the case, so I am telling the program that if the browser that has been passed is Chrome, then only you open the Chrome driver. If someone is passing Mozilla Firefox, if someone is passing Brave, then you throw an error. Okay, so if someone is passing the browser as Chrome, then only I will initiate the process. So how do you initiate the process? WebDriver manager. Okay, WebDriver manager, this is coming from test ng. You can see this is coming from test ng. So WebDriver manager dot Chrome driver. So now I am getting the Chrome driver and I will do dot setup. So now I have set up my Chrome driver over here, and let me define a WebDriver as well. So I will define a WebDriver private static WebDriver driver. I have defined a driver over here, and I will set this driver, and I will set this driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Okay, I have set this driver to new Chrome driver. So new Chrome driver has been initiated. First, what I have done, I have set up the Chrome driver, and then I have assigned that Chrome driver to our driver which is defined over here. Okay, and then what I will do, I will return the driver. I will return the driver, but we also need to write the else statement, because if we have written if this happens, so if someone doesn't pass the Chrome driver, what will happen? In every other case, I will throw a new exception which is a runtime exception, and I will say that we don't support this browser at the moment. Okay, all right, so this is how we are going to do it. So init browser, this has been done. So now I come here and I write driver factory dot init browser, and I pass that I want to open Chrome browser. If you want any other browser, then you need to implement that WebDriver as well. Okay, so since now I want to open my Chrome browser and I have passed it over here, Now what I'm going to do is I come here and I write driver, the web driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. So what I'm telling the project that you open the Chrome browser and you maximize the window. I don't want to see it in a half screen. I want to see it in the full screen. Okay. If you want, you can skip this step, but I generally prefer it in the full screen. So I'm implementing this. All right. And then we can have web driver dot get. So whatever URL you want to open, I can open that URL over here. So right now we want to open this automation exercise URL. So let me open this. Let me just copy this URL and let me put it over here so that it can open this URL. Right now you must have noticed that I am hard coding it over in the hooks class, but as we proceed ahead, I will put this same URL into the property file and we will read it from the property file. All right, cool. And now let's do something. We have already get the URL, and now we have to implement the after class. So why do we need the after class? Because as you know that after opening the web browser and after completing all the scenarios, I need to close my web browser as well. Okay, so for that public void, for that we have a tear down function. You cannot rename this, it's a tear down function. This is what you need to name it. Okay, and then you have driver factory dot, I have to implement a close browser function as well over here. Okay, so let me implement a close browser over here. So public static, again a static function because I want to call it directly, void, let's name it as quit driver, and then we can have if driver is not equal to null, then we can have driver dot quit. Okay, and then we set the driver to null. All right, so once the driver is equal to null, now no need to quit again. So we have set the driver to null. So if at all it calls the function twice, it will say the driver is null, so no need to call the function again. And then we need to have a function public static driver. I need a web driver. I need to get the driver as well so that I can use it across my project. So I have a get driver over here, and then I return the driver. Okay, cool. So that's all. We have done our driver factory. I come here, so driver factory dot quit driver, and that's it. That is all you need to do as part of setting up our driver factory and hooks class. All right, now what we're going to do, we have to set up a runner file so that we can actually run this. Cool. So we will set up a runner file and we will run this. So one related problem, what is it? Let me check. I think there's no problem. It's just showing me it's not refreshing. So now what we'll do, we will have a runner file, and that runner file will basically run the project. It will help me to run the project. Cool. Let's move ahead. We are now moving ahead to create the runner file. So what I'm going to do is I'll create a new package over here in my Java, and which says runner. Remember, we have to create the package in smaller case so that we don't create any confusion. And then I create a runner file over here, and then we move ahead and then I create a new Java class, and I can name this Java class as runner. So why is runner used for? Runner is used to basically run the scripts you have written. Alright, we have just written the hooks and we have just written the driver factory. And now we are creating our runner file so that we can run our feature file for that. Okay, so it's a very simple thing. What you can do is you just need two tags. The first tag which you need is the cucumber option, and then you only need to extend the test runner abstract test ng cucumber test, and then you are all done. You are just good to create and good to run your program. So let me start with creating the cucumber options tag. So let's create the cucumber options. So right now in the screen you can see that we are not getting cucumber options, because the one thing you need to notice that the cucumber which we have added as a dependency is the not correct one, because this is cucumber slash java. And then when we go ahead and when we see the Maven repository again, we need to search cucumber. And over here you can see we have 2, 3, 4 results basically. The first one says cucumber JVM Java and the second one says cucumber JVM JUnit. Alright. So the one which you have to use is this one, cucumber JVM JUnit 4. So let me go over here and let me click this and let's get the latest version over here, and I copy this code. I come here in my Maven dependency, and instead of having this io cucumber.java, I remove this and I can have my cucumber from JUnit. Remember, JUnit is the one who provide us with the testing runner file. So this is the exact correct one which you need to use in your POM file. Alright. So now as soon as we have it, now you will be able to see that we are getting cucumber options over here, and which is basically getting imported from JUnit, which we have just imported, right? And then we open a bracket over here, and then under this we need to define all the properties that are required for the feature file. Alright, so the very first property will be the features, right? And in features you need to give the path of your feature file wherever you have kept it. Alright, currently we haven't created any feature file, so let's go and let's create one. So for convenience, what I am doing is I will be creating the feature file in test resources. That is the correct way where you actually create the feature file. So for that, just right click on test and click new, or probably now you can have a new directory and you can name this directory as resources. They are already giving us a suggestion that we can create this, right? And we have created one under this resources. Now let's go and create a directory called as features. Alright, in this features we will be keeping all the feature file. Cool. Okay, so next new, and I will create a file and I will name this file as ecommerce.feature. It's up to you whatever you want to name it. Currently I'm naming it as ecommerce.feature, and this is coming from Cucumber. And now let's move to our runner file and let's continue configuring it. So we have to give the path of the feature file currently here. So I will write src, and under src I am inside test. Under test I am inside features. Alright, I don't need to mention the feature file name, because what Cucumber does, Cucumber automatically scan each and every file inside the directory that you have mentioned, and it will run all of them one by one. If you just want to run a single feature file, you can have a tags that I will show you in a few minutes. And then we move ahead, and then we need to have a glue. Now what does glue says? Glue says that we need to have the path for the step definition and the hooks. So hooks we have already created, step definition is not currently created. So let's go ahead and let's create step definitions. So under test we go and we can create step definition in Java, since these are Java files. So I will create a new package called step definitions. Okay, and inside this currently I am not creating any file, because it will just read the package, and file we can create it just after we are done running the runner file. Okay, so we write step definitions here. Okay, and this should be in double quotes. So by default, you need to understand, by default this runner file, this will scan the same package. So you can see this runner file is under this Java package. So I don't need to mention the path from the root, because by default they will scan the same configs, hooks, runner, and it will just find step definition. But if you have this notice, in feature file we need to have the entire path from the root, because it will not scan the package which is outside of its scope, right? And now after I have this step definition, I can have my hooks as well. So I can just name the package what I have just created. So you can see I have created hooks and I have written the hooks over here, right? With this we have completed the configuration for feature file and step definition. Now what we need to do, we need to create plugins. Plugins basically help us to generate the reports, the Cucumber reports, correct? And also it helps us to beautify the output that we can see in the console. Let me show you how do we do it. So plugin, so you can see the suggestion is already coming in, and inside plugin I will have 3 attributes. The first attribute will be pretty. What does pretty does? Pretty basically beautifies your output in the console. This is my first attribute. The second attribute is the one that we need to have a HTML report, and the third attribute will be the one that we need to have a JSON report, correct? So in HTML report, to generate that we need to write this syntax: HTML colon target, and then you need to mention where you want to basically have your HTML report saved. So I want to save this HTML report in my target folder, and inside target folder I want to create a new directory called as cucumber-reports and then /cucumber.html. So here you need to mention the file name as well. Whatever file name here you will mention, the same file name will be created by the program itself. So we write cucumber.html, it means a report will be created with the name of Cucumber. And similarly we can also generate a JSON report. So for that we just need to use the keyword JSON and then colon, we need to add the target folder. So I will have the same target folder as the Cucumber, so target /cucumber-reports, and then I can name this as cucumber.json. Remember, this is an HTML file and this is a JSON file, so both of these files are different. And then with this I just need to have 2 more attributes. The first one is monochrome equal to true, and the second one is publish equal to true. So publish equal to true will help me publish the report in the console output so that you can just get it and view it probably, or share it across to your provided stakeholders. Alright, so with this we have done the configuration for our runner file. We are completed with this. So one small thing that is currently pending from our end, that we need to extend this abstract test ng cucumber class. So let's do that, and let's extend abstract. It extends abstract test ng. So currently you can see that abstract test ng is not coming as a suggestion, and why it is not coming, let's try to debug that. So we go to the POM file and let's see over here. So this test ng, what I feel is not the correct one, because we need to have the cucumber-test ng, and this is just the test ng which is used for testing your unit classes. So this is not what we need exactly. So what we do, we go here and we search for cucumber-test ng. And now you can see we have 2 options. The first option is cucumber jvm :test ng, and the second option is just the simple test ng. We don't need this second one, we need this first one. Alright, so let's move ahead, and I will choose the latest version 7.28, and I can just copy this and I come here and I replace this test ng with my cucumber-test ng, and I hit reload so that it reloads. Alright, now you can see it's reloaded and now it's successfully installed. Now I go to runner class again, and now let me try the same, extending the same class again. So abstract test ng cucumber test. So this is the one we want to extend. Okay, now as soon as we've extended abstract test ng cucumber test, you can see we have a play button over here. So now we are all set to run the program, correct? And remember one thing, we don't need to give any implementation inside it, because as we have already test ng involved in our program, it will do the rest of the stuff for us and it doesn't charge anything. So this is the one, and now let's try running this code. Before that, I think we need to have something in the feature file so that the code has something to run. Okay, so I can probably just have a simple feature, and in this feature I can have one scenario. Under scenario I can just have simple given I am on the landing page. So this is the most simple thing what I can write, is I am on the landing page of the website. So after that we will try adding more and more steps, but just to test that our feature file and our runner file works correctly, I have just added the simplest statement, and let's try running this again. So here in runner we can see we have the run button, and let's run this. It's building. So now you can see we have certain issues, we have certain error, that it cannot find the class after and it cannot find the class before. So here if you come, we have seen that java.after, we have used an after annotation and we have used a before annotation as well. And why it is not able to find this, it is because we have removed one dependency while debugging another issue, and that dependency was the cucumber. So we go and we add it again. I go to Maven repository, I search for cucumber, and initially we have added cucumber jvm junit 4, and we need to add this cucumber as well so that we can have the before and after class as well. So I come here, take the latest version, copy this code and go to your POM, and probably in the dependency you can just add it. Okay, and hit refresh. So there are two cucumber dependency. The first cucumber is cucumber test ng and the second one is cucumber java. Now let's try running it again. Okay, so in the console now you can see that the run has been successful. So congratulations on that, the feature file has run successfully. You can see that the total test run is 0, passes is 0, failure is 0, and skip is 0. It is because there are no feature found at class path / runner. So it means we have something missing over here. That means that there are no feature actually that what it has found. So we need to have some feature as well, and we should also check the path of the feature file that what we have added. We have added src test features. Probably it is not able to scan this feature, and let's try to debug why it is happening. Alright, I think that is only happening because of my IntelliJ IDE. I just clicked on repair IDE and invalidate caches because it was taking some previous old junk values. So no code error, nothing, just rerun it and it will work. So I have rerun it, and you can see the Chrome browser has been opened. Automation exercise, this website has been opened, and congratulations, we have just set up everything and we have run our first test. Now the only problem is that I don't have any feature file and I don't have any validations yet. So now with all the basic things set up, now we will move ahead and now we will set up all the required feature file, step definition and everything else, right? Okay, so I come here to my ecommerce.feature file, and probably first of all, now what I'm going to show you is basically what we have to do. I have to write the scenarios. Okay, so if you are working for a company, you must be having test cases upfrontly with you, right? So that test cases goes under this feature file. Alright, and then it will be a step definition and then the Java classes. So first what we are going to do, first we will write all the test cases in our feature file, that what exactly we need to do, and then we will implement the step definition and the Java classes later on after this defining the steps. Okay, so for that I have already shown you how to do it manually. Alright, so if I just log out, and as soon as the user, my automation suite will open this website, it will look like this, right? So what is the first step that the user need to do? Now user need to first of all log in. To log in, user will click on this. Alright, so given I am on the landing page, and then what will do, then user clicks on login button. This is my step number 1 or step number 2, you can say. Then user clicks on login button. After the user clicks on login button, what happens? User enter email address and user enter the password, right? So then user enters email and password. Okay, you can have your email what needs to be entered upfrontly over here, but that I'm going to show you sometime later, that how do we capture the string from feature file. But first of all, what we are going to do is, first of all, we are just defining the plain test cases what we need to have. So user enter email and password, and then what user will do, user will log in. Alright, okay, so as I have entered user email and password, now I will click on login. So now I have to write, and then user clicks login. With this we will be automating the login scenario, and after the login is done, then we need to validate if login is successful or not. Then user validates if login is success. Alright, so I will show you how do we validate if login is success or not. So now what is the next step? Now we have to verify this home page, that is the landing page. Okay, we will do certain validations like this text is appearing or not, this category is visible or not, this feature item is visible or not. Okay, we will do that validation under this. So then user performs validation on the home page. Alright, so we will write all our validation under this step. All the validation will be done in this step. Okay, cool. Next, move ahead. Next, what will the user do? User will go to product listing page. So now the user will click on this particular button, that is products. So now our next step is when user clicks on products. Okay, when user clicks on products, so user will click on products here. Now the user have been landed to product listing page. Okay, so now this is the product listing page. Then user validates the product listing page. So then user validates the product listing page. Okay, or user performs the validation, it sounds more realistic. Performs the validation on product listing page. Okay, so this is my product listing page, and what are the validations that we need to do? That what we have to basically search for a certain product, and we have to see if that search is working or not. All right, we have to see this cards are appearing on the product listing page or not. We also need to verify this category and brand is present in the product listing page or not, right? This type of validations will be done in product listing page. Okay, after this validation is successful, what will user do? User will open one product. So user will click on view product over here. So user clicks on view product. So what is our next step? The next step is then user clicks on view product, and as soon as the user clicks on view product, now the user is on the product description page. This is called as product description page, and now we have to do our validation on this product description page. So what are the validations we will be going to perform? We are going to perform validations like if quantity can be increased or decreased or not, if the price is visible or not, right? If the user is able to write a review here or not, and the most important thing, if the user is able to add to cart or not. So this all validation we will do in one single test case. So then user performs validation on product description page. All right, description page, and then the user move ahead and the user add this product to the cart. So now user clicks on add to cart. So I can increase or decrease, and I can just add to cart. Okay, and as soon as the user add to cart, this pop-up appears, right? Okay, so then user clicks on add to cart. Okay, and after user clicks on add to cart, this pop-up appear. So what will the user do? Then user validates the pop-up. So now the user will validate the pop-up, and then the user will click on view cart. Okay, then user will click on view cart. So when user clicks on view cart, so when user clicks on view cart, this cart is appearing over here. Now we have to perform validation on the cart, that whatever product that we have added, the same product is there in the cart or not, the same quantity is there in the cart or not, the same price is correct or not, and then we have to multiply price with quantity. 500 multiplied by 2, the 1000, this calculation is correct or not, right? And we also need to verify this cross button later on, but we will keep this for later. But these are the basic steps that validation need to be performed. So now what will the user do? Then user validates or perform the validation. Then user performs validation on the cart page. This all validation we will do under this test case. We have accumulated everything over here, and then after validation, what user will do? User will click on checkout. So user click on proceed to checkout. So now what happened? Now when user clicks on proceed to checkout, okay, then what will happen? When user clicks on proceed to checkout, then this is my checkout page, right? So now we have to do the validation on checkout page, which is we have to validate if address details is visible or not, your delivery address is visible or not, the address is correctly visible or not, billing address is divisible or not, right? And the same amount that was total in my product cart, that same amount is there or it is different amount, the same quantity is there or not, the same price is there or not, and the same product is there or not, and at last user can place the order, right? So now what are the validation we need to do? Then user basically performs validation on checkout page, right? So all the validation we will be doing over here. Cool. Okay, then what will user do? User will place order. User will click on place order. So then user, or instead of then we should use here when user clicks, ideally it doesn't matter for the code that you are using then, when or given, it is just for human readability. So if you find when or then, if you can replace it depending on your choice of English, it's up to you totally. The code doesn't care about this. So when user clicks on proceed to checkout, or what was that button? I guess it was proceed to checkout if I'm not wrong. Okay, it was place order button, right? So now user clicks on the place order button, and here then what user will do? Now user enter the payment details. Then user enters the payment details. Okay, and I will show you what payment details need to be entered and how do you capture it from a feature file. I will also show you how do we capture it from a CSV file, or how do we read it from somewhere else. Alright, but let's first finish writing our test case. So then user enter the payment details, and then what happens? So let's try to enter and let's see what happens. 1 2 3 4, anything you want. Alright, here we need to add the name. 1 2 3 4, anything you want. CVV, anything you want. Probably 9 2029, anything you want. And then user clicks on pay and confirm order. So as soon as user clicks on pay and confirm order, this congratulations page has been opened. So then what user will do? Then user clicks on pay and confirm button. Okay, and then user will validate this particular page. So then user performs validation on the congratulations page. Okay, so I'm considering this is congratulations page, and what are the validations over here? That this text is visible or not, the order placed text is visible or not, and clicking on download invoice, the invoice is getting downloaded or not. So this is my entire project, what we are going to build. So this will be my test cases. All right, so now what we are going to do? Now we are going to implement all of these test cases. We are going to write the Java functions, we are going to write the logic and everything. So hold on with me, let's take it slow and let's do it step by step, one by one. Okay, let's move ahead. So now let us create our step definitions. So alright, we have already created the step definition package over here, and the file path is already added to the runner, right? So you can see the step definitions file path is already added and the package is already created. I'll just right click on this and create a new Java class, and I can name this class probably e-commerce. Alright, because I have made a feature file name as e-commerce, so I will make the step definition name also as e-commerce. Cool, so it is just a class, it's up to you, whatever you want you can name it, there is no worries. Alright, so first of all we will have to create a driver which will invoke the Chrome browser. So let's create web driver and driver. So what will be the value of this driver? The value of this driver, this we will get from the driver factory. If you visit driver factory, you can see we have already created a static function get driver, right? So now we will get this driver over here. So we will use driver factory dot get driver, and boom, we will have our driver. Now one very important question arises. You must be thinking that when I'm doing the get driver function, will I get the same driver that was initiated over here, and will it close the same driver? The answer is yes, because when you run a feature, when you run a scenario, basically, when you run a scenario, your before is getting called and the driver has been initiated. So once the driver has been initiated, until and unless the scenario ends, the same driver will be there, and in between that, what I am doing, I am getting the same driver function. So that is the reason that I will get the same driver. Okay, right now it has no uses, and now we will implement it. All right, and let's go ahead and let's create a Java file as well, where we will keep all our, you know, Java business logics, right? So all the business logic we will keep in main. So in main we will create a new package. We will name this package as pages, and inside pages we will create a new Java class, and now we can have all the logics in this Java class. So e-commerce, all right, pages, e-commerce pages dot java. All right, cool. Now we will have to call this e-commerce pages in our step definition, but that is a secondary thing. First of all, let's try implementing our things. So I don't need driver factory right now, I don't need hooks right now, I don't need main function currently, I don't need pom as well. I will just work with my feature file and my step definition and the Java class. All right, so okay, so given I am on the landing page, so let's copy this and let's come here and let's start with @given. You can see this is coming from Cucumber. So @given in double quotes, I will have something like this. I am on the landing page, and then we can have our function public void. We can name this as I underscore m underscore on the underscore landing underscore page, right? We can have a function like this, and inside this we will write our implementation, correct? Okay, and now as I told you, since we are on the landing page, which is this landing page, and this will be logged out initially. Okay, so in this landing page we have to do certain validation. What is the validation? Is basically, first of all, you have to do that this is automation exercise. You can see the what is the title of this website. It is automation exercise. So let's go ahead and let's do our first validation, which is validating the title is automation exercise or not. So we will do automation, sorry, not automation, we will do assert. That is coming from JUnit or TestNG, it's up to you. From wherever you want, you can have it. So I am getting it from TestNG, which is a better one. Okay, so assert dot assert true. Okay, assert dot assert true. Now what will this assert true function will do? It will find out if this assertion is true or not. So now what the assertion do we need to do? We need to find out the title of the website. So how do we need to find, how do we get the title of the website? We will get the title of the website from something like this, driver. So what driver will do? Driver dot get title. So once you do driver dot get title, it will get me the title of the website, which is the automation exercise. All right, and I will compare this get title with my basically with my string, that is automation exercise. So dot contains, I will just use a function contains, and I will just have something like this, automation exercise. Okay, so now it will validate whether this title has automation exercise or not. One very interesting thing that you need to do, that you don't have to use this string directly, hard code this string directly over here. you have to use a constant class, right? You don't, it's not a good practice. So we will create a new package which is named as util, and under that we will have a constant class, and that will keep all of our constant. I'll show you how. So new package, I'll name this package as utils. Okay, utils. Under utils I will create a new Java class and I will have constants. Okay, and inside this constant I will have public static. I will create static variables over here so that we can use it anywhere across our project. Okay, so public static, what is our title? It's automation underscore exercise. Okay, and we will have this as string. Cool. And this is equal to automation, or we can just come here and we can just copy this. Okay, just copy this and paste it over here, and a semicolon. Okay, and a space over here. So now you can see, now we have our string automation exercise, which is automation exercise. Now we can replace that. How? Just copy this, come here, and instead of this, instead of entire this, I will just replace it with automation exercise, and it will ask me to import. It will import automatically from my constant file. And now this is the correct way how we actually do it in production in companies, right? Cool. Let's move ahead. So by the way, congratulations, you have just done your first assertion, which is the first assertion that you are on the landing page and you have verified the title. Okay, let's try running this, and after that we'll move ahead so that we can test that we are actually able to run our step definition or not. Okay, cool. So we'll save this, go to runner and just run it. Let's see. It opened my website. Okay, and test has been done. Let's see what has come. It says step undefined. I am on the landing page. So it is telling me that your step I am on the landing page is undefined, although we have defined that I am on the landing page, right? We have already defined. So there is some issue that it is not being able to read this I am on the landing page. Okay, so let's find out what is the issue. But before that, one issue sometimes I face with IntelliJ, that it actually does not auto reload and auto refresh. So I just go to file and I just click on repair IDE. Sometimes this works because there is no code issue. Sometimes it is not just getting saved and getting compiled correctly. It is issue with IntelliJ. Okay, rescan project indexes. Now let me rerun. It is running. Okay, step undefined. So it still says that your step is undefined. Now we have, I think, some concrete issue. Let's try to debug it. So I think we need to check. So the first debugging step that we need to check is, let's go to the runner, and over here we can find this step definitions. We have to make sure that this step definitions is the correct one. Okay, so let's verify the spelling. Step definitions, this is correct, so it should ideally match. After that, we also need to check if it is in the correct package. So Java test in Java indirectly, right? Since we are getting hooks are getting correctly, that means we are in the correct package. Step definitions, everything looks right. We don't need, I think, anything else. Let's rerun it once. All right, I think that is just issue of IntelliJ. Cool. So it's running. You can see the Chrome browser has opened. Automation exercise. It's running. The test is running. All right, we have find something. Okay, now you can see given I am on the landing page, this has successfully run. You can see a tick mark over here. That was just an issue of IntelliJ. It means our program is able to read the feature file. We have not implemented currently this all of this step. That's why it is not coming. But since we have implemented our first step, if we go here and if we see since we have implemented this step, that is why it is running. And you can see the error has been there. And the error is for user clicks on login button. That is from the second step. The first step has been successfully implemented. Now we can go ahead and implement all other steps. We can also see the report which is getting generated. I have shown you in this ecom. If I go to runner, we have done publish equal to true. It means the report will be published. So I open the report over here. Okay, so your report. So now this report has been correctly generated, and you can see the first step is successful. And the second and third step, and later on the steps that didn't perform, that's why it's not coming. Alright, 0% passed. Now let's move ahead. Okay, let's minimize this and let's start implementing our other steps. I think if we just open the terminal, not the terminal, the run button, we can directly implement all of the steps. The IntelliJ is already telling us that you need to implement this step. So I will just go ahead and I will just copy all of this step definitions. Alright, so that I don't need to type it manually actually. Okay, so I am just copying all of them. Alright, I come here. Now I can minimize this. Here we can have our other steps. All right, here you can just close the bracket. Okay, cool. So we are done, and we don't need this exception and everything, so we just remove all of this. We remove this, make a space over here, remove this. We don't need exception handling currently. We will do exception handling separately, not like this. So let's just quickly remove all of them. Right. So IntelliJ is very smart. It does maximum work for us. Alright, how many are there left? Much of them. Let's remove them quickly. Okay, we don't need all of this. At least this is better than, writing all of the functions on our own. You can just remove few of them after just copying and pasting. All right, it's not a very tedious task. So this is better, I believe. Cool. So we have done. We have removed all of the unnecessary lines which we don't need. And now let's move ahead. And now let's surely go to our second step, which is then user clicks on login button. Alright, okay. So we are here at the rate then user clicks on login button. Okay, so under this section we need to click the login link. So for that I can do directly like by.xpath. So I can do directly something like this, driver dot find element, and I can write by.xpath. all right, and I can write the xpath over here and I can just write dot click. But I will not do the same because in this step definition file I only want that I should be having only assertions like this. All right, I should only have this assertions. All the Java related thing I want to do it in a separate file, which is the Java file. So for that I think we have already created this pages, e-commerce pages. So I will come here and now I will do all my Java related things and all my Java related file over here. Okay, so for that I need to define private WebDriver and driver. So we need this driver everywhere, right? That is why I am defining in all of this file. So right now I have this driver. So I just wanted to tell you, I just changed small thing in this file. I have done web driver. Now instead of defining it over here directly, I have defined it in a function, driver equal to driver factory dot get driver, right? A new function. So now it's a better idea to do this. All right. Okay, since we will run this step every time, so we are doing this. Cool. So now what I will do, I will just have driver over here, and now I can have my constructor. So constructor public e-commerce pages. All right, and in this constructor, let me have the parameter web driver. Let me have this parameter driver so that I can set this driver. So what I will do, I will write this dot driver, it is equal to driver. All right, so I am setting this driver as the driver which is coming to me as a constructor. So now what I can do, I can just call this constructor in my step definition over here, right? So how do I call this constructor? I'll show you. All right, to call this constructor, we'll just do e-commerce pages, since we are calling a constructor of this e-commerce pages, and e-commerce pages are variable equal to new e-commerce pages, and now I will pass driver over here. All right, this is value of driver is always null. I think this value of driver will always be null. So rather than having this thing over here, I can just have this as driver factory dot get driver. All right, so now this driver will be set automatically. All right, so now let's do one thing, and now over here we can just call e-commerce pages dot whatever function we want, we can call it over here. So now let's quickly start defining the functions. Okay, so the first function that we want to create is public void, and we will say click login button. All right, click login button. And what I want to do is I want to call that click login button over here. All right, and now let's come here and we will implement this over here. So to implement this, we will need to write the XPath first of all. So to write the XPath, we'll just have private by is the class we use. Okay, by, and we can have the login link button, which is equal to by dot XPath, and we will have our XPath under this. So what I'm doing is I'm defining it separately, and we can use the login link over here. The login link is not coming. Okay, not here. We have to use the login link inside this over here. All right, I'll tell you how to use that. So first let's write our XPath. Okay, so to write the XPath, we come to our here this link, and we inspect the element. And now first let us find out the login button. So this is our login button. Okay, here this is the login button. So what I will do, I'll control F and I will write the XPath here, and it will automatically select. That means it is confirmed that my XPath is correct. I'll tell you how I confirm it. So basically, so to write the XPath, you can first see this is my A anchor tag, and in this anchor tag, I will use this anchor tag, and the text, I will use the text one. Basically the text says sign up login. I come here, I write this A, and then I will use the text function, which is equal to sign up login. So now you can see it is successfully getting this button. So I'll just copy this XPath. I come to my IntelliJ and I can just paste this XPath. Okay, now my login link is ready to use, and I can use it across my project. Correct? Okay. Now what I can do is I can just directly I can just directly write driver dot find element by dot xpath, and I can just write this as login link. Okay, or just remove this, just login link. Okay, I can just do driver dot find element dot login link, and I can just directly do click, but I will not do this. Why? Because now we have to implement something called as wait, because this website loads, and the loading of this website will take some time, and if I don't take a pause and if I just click on go ahead without any wait, the test will fail surely. So I will need to wait until this website is loaded completely, and then you have to click the login and sign up button, right? So instead of doing this, I will use explicit wait. Okay, and if you are someone who is learning waits from a lot of time, you must have seen that you can implement explicit wait over here. But I will do a little bit of efficient technique, that we will create a new Java class where we will load all our explicit wait, and I will use that Java class directly over here. If it sounds overwhelming, don't worry. Let's just wait and see how am I doing. All right. Okay. So I go to my utils and I create a new Java class, and I will name this Java class as element util, and inside this element util I will create all my explicit loaders. Okay. So first of all, what do we need? As usual, we need a web driver, because web driver is the most important part and we need it everywhere. Okay, and we also need one more thing over here, which is web driver wait. Okay, web driver wait. So these two variables we will be using. One is driver and one is web driver wait, and I will show you where and how we are going to use it. First, let's define a constructor, public element util, and this is our constructor, and in this constructor we will be getting the web driver. As usual, we need the web driver so that we can use this driver. So this dot driver, I am setting this driver is equal to driver, and I will also set this dot web driver wait is equal to. So this web driver wait I have defined because I want to have a maximum, because explicit wait basically means that it will only wait until a certain elements load. But I can also define the maximum time, that okay, I understand that you are waiting till this element is visible, but you don't wait for 10 seconds or 20 seconds or 30 seconds. I want to define a maximum time that you only wait for 10 seconds. Don't go beyond that. So that is the reason I'm using this web driver wait, where I will define the maximum wait time. Okay, so I'll just have new web driver wait, and I can just pass driver comma duration of seconds, duration dot of seconds. Okay, so maximum seconds what I am defining is 10 seconds. I don't want my project to wait more than 10 seconds. Alright, so the basic setup of this element util class have been done. Now let's move ahead. So here e-commerce pages, we need that element should be clickable, but before element is clickable, we need that element should be visible, right? So what I will do is I come here and I write public void click. So I'll have a function click, and this will take a locator. Let me import this class. This will take a locator, and now this inside click function, I will wait for element visible. Okay, wait for element visible, and inside this I will pass my locator and I will do dot click. Okay, this will make sense when we create this function wait for element visible. Okay, So let's go ahead and create this function, public, not this, public web element and I will just create this function. Okay, I will pass by locator. I will get the locator over here, and inside this let me return wait dot until. Wait or not wait, it's our WebDriver wait dot. Now here is the actual explicit wait that we are implementing, dot until. Okay, until, and under this until we will pass the expected conditions, actually expected conditions, which is from Selenium, dot visibility of element located, this one. Okay, and here we pass the locator. All right, so this is the actual thing that you need to actually do. So your expected condition for visibility, so you are waiting for the visible, for that button to be visible, and this locator, so you are waiting for this locator to be visible. Once the locator is visible, you are just passing it through. Okay, and now you are calling this function over here and you are just asking them to click. So this entire thing will do my explicit click. Now what I'm going to do, it has become very simple. Now basically I come here to my e-commerce pages, and now instead of doing this entire thing, okay, I can just have element utils, element utils. I haven't defined it anywhere, so let's go ahead and define this element util. First we need to define it here, private element util. It's not coming. I think this element util class is not coming only because this element util class is defined in our src test Java, and we are importing it in src main Java. Ideally we can import this to our main, but it is not recommended that you import something from test to main because it will cause an issue later. So a better fix can be, let's do the one thing, let's move these pages to our test folder, and that will be much of it, that will do the work. Okay, so I'll right click on this and I go and find where is to move. Modify. I can't find any move option over here. Reformat or refactor option must be there. So refactor. Okay, so in refactor I get move package or directory. So let me move this package or directory to directory, and I want to move this to src test Java. Over here I want to move this and I will refactor. Okay, cool. So I believe now this pages has been moved. If you come here, this shows some error, one related problem, new e-commerce pages. Okay, I think it has been successfully moved. If I go to main, if there is any error in the main, there is no error in the main. Okay, now I believe I can use element util over here, and I can just define an element util, and under this I set this element util equal to new element util, and I pass the driver. Okay, I'm doing this, and now we need a semicolon over here. And now when I come here, I can just use element util dot click, and now I can pass my locator, which says the locator is the login link. Okay, now this will all do my work, and there is no problem now. Is there any issue with the main? No. If you just refresh it, it will go. This just an issue with IntelliJ. Okay, so now you can see what has actually happened. We have actually done element util.click login link. Okay, now it will just click function will be called from here. So the login link, this locator will be passed here, and this locator will be passed in this click, and over here this click will be done in an explicit wait time. And that's all. That's it. We have actually done our Java page as well. Now let's do one thing. Let's try running this, and let's also print one system out so that we can see we are inside the login page. Alright, cool. Now let's run this. Before running, let me just reload all from disk. So since it's showing a problem. Okay, file or repair IDE, rescan project indexes. Okay, let's go to our runner file and let's run this, and let's see what we are getting. It is open. Okay, if you have seen the screen just now, it just clicked the login button and the login page was displayed for a second. Okay, and here we don't see the logs because actually terminal doesn't print it like that. We need to implement the logging separately. That I will show you in some time. All right, cool, no issues, but we are confirmed that now the button is getting clicked actually. All right, okay, let's move ahead and let's implement all our other steps and other things. So the next step is user enters email and password. Okay, now we come here and we create a function for email and password. So public void enter email. Enter email is a function, and we will accept a string email. Okay, and we'll do the implementation here, and similarly we will have something called as public void, and we will have a function enter password, and we will just accept a string password. Alright, and here we will have the implementation, and in enter email and password what we will do, we will do e-commerce pages dot enter email, and we'll do e-commerce pages dot enter password, and we can have the email right over here, which says, let's say akash@123. Let me just confirm what was my email. So I go to login and the email was akash@123 and 123. All right, so the email correct is akash@123, and the password must be akash@123. So this is how it is. I will also show you how to get this data from feature file directly, but just for the time being we are making it hard coded over here. I can also show you how we are doing it in using a CSV file. We can read these things, but that is for some advanced steps later on. Okay, I come here and I come here. Now I need to write the XPath for this email address and this password. Okay, so I come here, I click on this. Here I do control F. So this email, this is my input, type equal to email. Okay, So to write the XPath for this is my email. I will use this attribute of name, let's say, okay, and I'll just have like this. The input is my attribute input, and then I will have inside input I will have the attribute name, which is equal to email. All right, so you can see we can get the email currently if you press enter. So there are two emails right now, but I don't want this sign up email, I want this login email. So to get this login email, I will just have this array and 1, okay, and I'll just put a bracket over here and just put a bracket over here. So now this, you can see this first index. So there are two index for email, one is this one and one is this one. I want only the first one, so I have grabbed the first one. I just copy this, and under here now I can have my private by email text box, okay. This is equal to by dot XPath, and I can mention the XPath under this. All right, and now I will say, so now under this email I want to type, okay. I can directly type like this by dot XPath, and I can just write send keys, okay. But I don't want to do send keys directly from here. Instead, I want to implement explicit wait. So I come here and I create a new function, public void type, okay, and now I will type something and it will surely accept a locator. And now inside this I will have a web element is equal to wait for element visible. It will wait until the element is visible. And which element? Locator. It will wait for the locator to be visible. And once the locator is visible, first I will do element dot clear. So not click, element dot clear. So whatever text is there inside the email field, first I want to clear that. That is a good practice to have it. And then I will write element dot send keys, and then I will send my key over here. So to send a key, I will need one more field, which is string text, what text I need to send, and that text will be called here. All right, now this type is done. Now I come here and I will call this function here, element util dot type, and I will pass the locator as email text box, and then the string as email. Hopefully this will complete the stuff. And for the same password, I will do element util dot type, and I will just have a password. So I haven't created the password XPath yet. So let me go ahead and let me create the password one. So to write the XPath for password, I come here, write private by password text box, which is equal to by dot XPath, and I need to write the XPath over here. So let's quickly write the XPath for password. I first check this. Okay, I can use the name field again. The name field says it's password, so I just copy this password, I come here, I paste it here. Now you can see the first element is our password, so I just copy this XPath. Let me know if I'm going speed or something in the comment box so that I can improve it, and probably you can have a better class from afterwards. So password I am getting, and now I can write password text box, and I can also pass the password. Okay, so eventually it will call that and it will enter the text. Cool, let's move ahead. And what is the next button? The next says the user clicks on login. So after this email ID and password has been entered, now the user will click on this login button. So button type equal to submit query data login button. Okay, so this is the text. We can use this text, or we can also use name. If you are not sure about the text, if the text can change, you can use name. Where is the name? Where is the name? Okay, name is not there, so you can use data QA as well. This is also a good option. So now instead of name, I will use data QA. And what is the data QA value? Login button. I come here and paste this, and I don't need this. It's not coming, probably. Let me find out why. Okay, it is because of input. Since this is a button and we are writing input, it should not be input, it should be a button. Alright, so now you can see we are getting the login button. So I just copy this, I come here and I paste it over here. I create a new XPath first of all. So private by login button in login page. I'm writing login button in login page because since I have two login buttons, and that is why I am doing this. So this is equal to by.xpath, and I can just paste the XPath over here. Alright, semicolon. And now I come here. So since user clicks on login, I need to create a function that user click login. I come here and I create public void click login in login page, and I can just do element util dot click. We have already created a click function. I can just pass the locator, which is login button in login page. Alright, and it will click it for me. And now what I can do, I can come here and I can just surely call this over here e-commerce pages dot click login button. Okay, cool. Now the second step, now the next step is to then user validate if login is success or not. Okay, now we are going to implement this if login is success or not. So now to check if the user has been successfully logged in or not. What is the technique to check if successfully user is logged in or not? So first let's log in and let's check it. Okay, so I am logging in inside manually. Alright, if you just log in, you must have seen that there are certain things which verifies that user is logged in or not. The first thing which verifies user is logged in or not is this logout button will appear. The second thing which verifies that this delete account button will appear. The third thing which verifies is that this logged in as Akash will appear. So if you either check any one of the three, that if this button is appearing, if this text or button is appearing or not, that will confirm that you have been successfully logged in. So it's up to you, it's your choice what you want to do. So either you can check this logout which says this anchor tag and you can just verify this logout text, or you can choose to have this delete account, right? You can just have this delete account text, or you can just choose to have this logged in as Akash. Alright, logged in as, so this text. So either of them works totally fine. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going with the technique of choosing this delete account. So I will see if this delete account button appears or not. If this delete account button appear, that means I have been logged in successfully. So for this, now I'm going to pages and I'm going to create a new function called as public void and check login success. Alright, and I will check the login success over here, and I come here and I will just call this function here dot check login success. Alright, cool. If I come here, now I have to find out the XPath for this particular delete account, and I want to see if this delete account is visible or not. Alright, so let's first find out the XPath for this. So this delete button is inside an anchor tag, so I write an anchor tag A, and then we can have this text delete account. So instead of this, I can have something like text is equal to text, it is a function, and this is equal to delete account. Alright, so now this is getting it. I just copy this and I come here and I create a new XPath, delete account button. This is equal to by.xpath, and I write the XPath as usual. Now I want to check if this is visible or not. But one thing again, as I told you that I can directly do something like this, driver dot by, find element by dot XPath. Alright, and I can do dot is visible, is displayed, right? I can do this. But the only problem with this statement will be, what if the element is taking some time to load? Okay, this will run automatically. I want to have a wait so that it waits for that element to load correctly and then it will check. So to that, as explained, I will always go to my element util class. I will come here and I will create a new function, public void is displayed. Let's not create void, let's create boolean, because now I want to return whether it is true or false. Is displayed is true, whether that text is visible or not. So that's why I have created it boolean, and as usual I will take a locator so that it will tell me that this locator is visible or not. And now what I will do is, inside is displayed, I will return WebDriver wait this dot wait for element, WebDriver wait, and then wait for element. I think we should do one thing. Let's implement another function, because I want to call this function directly. I don't want another step in my e-commerce pages. So what I will do is, let me just explain you a little bit what I'm going to do. I'm going to call for this function, wait for element visible. Okay, wait for element visible, and then I will pass the locator. Alright, and then I will do dot is displayed. I think this will make more sense, because if I'm doing wait for element visible, so we have already created a function for element for that visible and then clicking, but here and then only displaying. So this will make more sense, right? So now I come here in e-commerce pages, element util dot is displayed, and I can have a locator, delete account button basically. All right, and now this will basically check if this is a true or false. All right, now we need to have assertion as well. So with this we will have assert true, and let's have this inside. So now it will check if this is true or not. Okay, it should be true, then only it will pass, or if it is not true, then it will fail, right? Okay, one thing we can do, to maintain the consistency, you must have noticed that all the assertion I am putting it in step definition. So I don't want assertion to be here. So what we can do, we can over here, we can just return this and do the assertion in our step definition to maintain the consistency. So I will do return element util dot is displayed and delete account button, and I will return this and I will have it as boolean over here. Okay, now In my step definition, I will capture that and I will assert that. So what I am going to do is check login success. I will assert like that. I will do assert true e-commerce pages dot check login success. Alright, now it will directly assert it over here. Cool, we are done with this. Now we are on the home page and we need to perform certain validation on the home page. So what are the validations we need to perform? First of all, we need to perform that if this automation exercise text is visible or not, if this text case button and if this button is visible or not, and then if this category is visible or not. So these are the certain validation that we need to do on home page. There can be other validation as well, but I'm going to show you few of them for understanding. Rest you can also do on your own. I will tell you how, don't worry. So first of all, let us try and let us check if this automation exercise is visible or not. Okay, or this just the automation text is visible or not. So let's write the XPath for this. This is inside my span tag. So I will have certainly something like this span, and then I can use text is equal to automation. So now this gives me this, but there are I think three of them. All right, so this is a carousel, and I have 3 of this automation exercise, right? So I can just have, because at certain point of time only one is visible, so I can just have this, Control C, copy it, and I come here and I come to this e-commerce pages, private by dot by, and I have automation text, just the automation text, which is equal to by dot XPath. I give the XPath, I save it here, and I create a new function, public void validations. I can have certainly like something automation text validation on home page. All right, or I can just create a function, something. Let's do one thing. Let's have one function which says perform validation on home page. Okay, and I will do all the assertion here itself. So for example, assert true, and I call element util dot is displayed, not is displayed, it's not is displayed, it's is visible, or it was it display, let me check. It was is displayed. Okay, so is displayed, and I just pass this automation text. Okay, and it will assert if this is true or not. Okay, this is my first assertion. Next assertion, what I can do, assert true, and I can have element util dot is displayed, and then I can check for some other things like if my category is visible or not. So I come here, I select this XPath. This XPath is under H2, and so I will just change this span to H2, and a text will be category. Okay, so you can see this is there. I just copy this, I come here, I write a new locator, private by category text on home page. Okay, this is equal to by.xpath, and certainly like this. Okay, and then I can have this checked, so I can just copy it and I can just paste it here. I can now do some more validations, like if feature items is visible or not. This is my feature items, so this is inside h2 feature items, same thing. Paste it, you get it. Copy it, come here, duplicate it, and just replace this with this. Okay, and have this as feature items on home page. All right, copy and change it this here. Cool. And now let's call this function in my class over here. So perform validation on a home page. Let me tell this as e-commerce pages dot perform validation on a home page, and that's it. Done. We have performed the validations on home page. Now you can have certain more validations as well on this home page, like add to cart button is working, this is visible or not, this is visible or not. Everything that can be added, that is, you can also implement it on your own. I have shown you how to do that. So by saving our time, we are just moving ahead. Moving ahead, our next step is to click on this products. So if I go and if I check my feature file, what is the next step? We have done till here. We have also done till this step. Now there's line number 10. This is our next step, when the user clicks on product. Very simple and very straightforward. We need the XPath first of all. So this is inside an anchor tag. So I will replace this h2 with an anchor tag. And I can use certainly something called as text. Text will be better. So I can use text as products. You can see it is grabbing it. So I just copy this. I come here and I come to this. I create a new XPath, private by products button. This is equal to by.xpath, and I can have products button XPath over here. And now certainly I want to click it, so public void click product button. All right, and as usual I will use my element class dot click, and I will have my product XPath, which is the products button. And I come here and I just call this function inside products button. So e-commerce pages dot click product button. So this step is also completed. So after the product button is clicked, user is on this page, which is called as product listing page. Now what is my next step? The next step is to user perform the validation on product listing page. So I want to do certain validation on product listing page. Now what are the validations that can be done on this product listing page? Let's go through it once. So first validation is if the user can click and search or type something on this and search for it. For example, I can type for men. And I click on search. I type for men and I click on search. So as soon as I type for men and I click on search, this search should work, right? This search should work. So how do you get this search should work is you can get this searched product. So this is the validation that you can do on this product listing page. So let's go ahead and let's implement this. So let me clear this. So for this you will need XPath for three things. The first is this search product field, the search button, and this search product text. So let's click and let's come here. So this is my search product and I search for it. So let's write the XPath for search product first of all. This is an input type and name is equal to search. So we will use name. So this and we have input and then we have name attribute name is equal to search, if I am not wrong. So you can see now it is getting me the search panel. So this is my search XPath. So I come here, create a new path, private by search button or search text, okay, which is equal to by.xpath, and I write the XPath and that's it. And now we have to click this search button. So this is my search button. Let's see how it goes. It says name equal to search before. I can use this class. Okay, I can use this class because this class is basically referring to this search button. So let's use this class. Okay, come on. And I can have, since this is an I tag, and I can have class is equal to this. Okay, so you see the search is now visible. I copy this, I come here, and again I just Control D and it will give me this search text. Now this is a button and I replace this with my XPath. Alright, like this. And then I need XPath for this search product. I go ahead, I click this title text center. Okay, so now this is my H2 and now this is, I need to search with the text. So it should be text is a function. This is equal to searched product, something like this. It is not coming. Why it is not coming? Because of this. Now it will come, right? Okay, copy it, come here, duplicate this search text header. Now this is my header and now we paste it here. Okay, done. So now we have pasted it here and now let's go and do our assertions. So now I will have public void perform validation on product listing page, and then I can perform validation over here. So what are the validations? So first of all, to perform the validation I need to click on the search button. Okay, so what do? I do element util dot click. So first it will click this. Okay, it will click this searched products. It will click this one, this particular thing. Let's go ahead and search it for once again. Or I can do one thing. I can, without clicking, I can just directly send keys. Okay, to this. I can just directly send keys to this. So we don't need click. We can just do send keys. For send keys in our util function, what do we have? We have type, right? The dot type, and let's type for men. Okay, and we need a locator as well. So the locator will be search text. search text. All right, and then we need to click dot click. What do we need to click? We need this search text button. We need to click this search text button, right? And then we will have element util dot is displayed. And what do we need to display? This one. Okay, cool. And I can also have assertion over here, assert dot assert true. I can have this assertion. Okay, and oh sorry, here. Now this will verify this thing. I will just call this function in my step definition, e-commerce pages dot perform validation on product listing page, and that's it. Boom, you are done. Now user clicks on view product. So now I need to view one product. So as soon as we click this, we need to view this product. So to view this product, we need to click on this view product button. So I come here, I get this view product. Okay, this view product. This is inside an anchor tag. So I'll just have an anchor tag and text is equal to the text should be view product, this one, right? So let's copy this and let's paste it over here. So there are so many view product. You want to only test one view product, and I want to test the first one. This, I think this is Varun Dhawan. I'm not sure about who actor is this, but okay, let's just test the first one. So to get the first one, I can just have a bracket over here. See this bracket, okay, and then I can grab the first one. If I do 1, it will grab me the first one. See, and if I grab 2, it will give me the second one. If I do 3, third one, similarly, whatever you want. So let's take the first one for now. You can also test for all of them. You can apply loop and do certain things. That's totally up to you. But let me show you the first one first of all. So to do that, I come here. Private by view product button is equal to by dot xpath, and I can paste this xpath over here, and that's it. I come here, I create a new function, public void click view button, view product button. Okay, and in this function I will write the element util dot click, and then what I'm clicking is view product button. So view product button, and that's it. Now you come here and you just call this, call e-commerce pages dot view product button. Okay, and that's it. This step is also done. Now we have some more steps remaining. Let's write all of them, and at last we will run it and see how it goes. How many steps are remaining? Let's just have a quick go through. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 on more 11 function 11 more functions are there that we need to complete it. All right, let's move ahead. So our next step is to click view product is done. User perform validation on product description page. So our next step is that user perform validation on product description page, right? Okay, we are in pages. So once the user click on this view product, user lands here. Now the user, what are the validations that user can perform? User can see if the price is visible. user can see if the user can increase or decrease the quantity, and then user can see if user can add it to the cart. You can have more validations like this is visible or not, condition, brand, and everything, right? But for now I am showing you few validations. You can also write review and send. Okay, that is all later, but I will just show you few of them. Rest, I believe you can implement more. If you cannot, please drop a comment. I will surely make and update the video with the latest code. All right, cool. So now the user, it is our product description page. So I come here to pages, and let me first find out the XPath. So the first XPath is we need is for this particular thing. Okay. So here you can see RS and 400. Now here I don't want to use the exact text because this price can change depending on the product. Instead, I will use contain text. So I will say that if this text contain RS symbol or not. If this text contains RS, it means this entire rupees is visible. I can have another assertions like if this is an integer or not. That is also one of a case. So first let's search, and this is a span tag. Okay, and RS. So instead of text we can have something like contains and opening bracket and closing bracket. Okay, contains text is equal to, the text should be this, not this. The text should be RS. Okay, and this should not be 1. We don't need this, we don't need this. Okay, inside contains text we should not write equal to, it should write comma instead. So this will get me the text. Okay, so now I come here and I write private by rupee symbol on PDP, which is product description page, which is equal to by.xpath, and I can have something like this. Okay, and then I come here and I create a function public void perform validations on PDP. Okay, and the first validation I need to perform is that assert true, not same, assert true. And if I see that element util dot is displayed and this particular thing is displayed or not this, actually this rupee symbol on PDP, this is will displayed or not, and that's it. The second validation, let's go to the second validation. The second validation is if I'm able to increase the quantity or not, right? This one, this button. So I come here, I click on this, and if I can add certain quantity of my choice, let's say 4. Okay, I can see if 4 can be added or not. So this is my input field, right? I am writing the test XPath for this input, and we use name over here since we can see this name. So I will use @name, which is equal to quantity, right? This will give me this. So I come here, I click private by quantity is equal to by.xpath, and I can have this. All right, and I can see if I can update the quantity or not. So to update the quantity, what do I have in util function? I have this type. So what type will do? Type will first of all clear if there is anything in that or not. So if you have noticed, by default it is 1. So it will clear this one first of all and then enter 4. So both of will be done by this type. So I come and use element util dot type, and I type where? I type it here on quantity, right? Okay. This is showing me an error. Why it is? Remove second parameter. Okay, I need to pass the string as well. So the string, let's say 4. Okay, I am passing 4, and now I have to click on cart, add to cart. So I come here and I click on add to cart. Where is my add to cart button? This is my add to cart button. Okay, so I will use text for this. What is happening? Okay, this is something very big. Rather, I can also use class if you don't mind. So instead of name, I use class. Okay, and when I use class, and I can use this particular class, FA shopping cart. Okay, this isn't coming. Why it isn't coming? Because this is not an input tag, this is an I tag. Now it will come. You can see add to cart button. So now the user can click on this. So I copy this, I come here and I write private by add to cart button, which is equal to by dot xpath, and then I can have this add to cart. Okay, and then the user clicks element util dot click add to cart. Okay, and that's it. We have done this as well. I call this function over here e-commerce pages dot perform validation on PDP. That's it. And I have also included add to cart. I think we need to separate this out. So e-commerce, basically what I have done the per validation page and add to cart on the same function, but I have a different function. We need to have a different function over here. So public void, I just create a new function, add to cart button. Okay, and inside this I will use this one. Okay, let's not keep it in the same function for a better clarity. And I come here, and here I do that e-commerce pages dot add to cart button, and that's it. And as soon as the user add it to the cart, what happens? This pop-up comes. Now I want to validate and click on view cart button on this pop-up. So let's come here and let's get this XPath view cart. All right. So this view cart is inside an anchor tag, or you can call it as a U tag as well. Let's try it with a U tag. So let's just remove this dash U, and then this, and then where is that gone? Here, U, and then the text. This is equal to like this, and we have not like this, we have view cart as our text that we paste it here, and new, see, this can grab it. So I just copy this, I come here, and probably I can just create a new XPath private by view cart button, which is equal to by dot XPath, and like this, and that's it. And now the user can click on view cart. So validates the pop-up. How do I validate the pop-up? That view cart is visible or not. If view cart is visible, that means the pop-up has been successfully generated. So I create a new function here. public void click on view cart, and I just call that element util dot click view cart button, and that's it. I come here and I call this e-commerce pages dot view click on view cart, and that's it. That is all we have to do. Okay, user validates the pop-up. We have certain different functions for validation of pop-up as well. So instead of calling this here, let's call this, instead of calling this actually here, actually we just copy this and let's paste it here, which is on view cart, and we can have certain other validation on pop-up as well. For example, if this text is visible or not, this is the validation that you can have on pop-up. So just have it and grab this. This is a p tag and this is your text. All right, so I can just have something like this dash dash p and like this, and I have text, and this is equal to this text. Okay, so I just copy this, I come here, and then I do something like private by view text in pop-up, which is equal to by.xpath, and I paste this xpath here. Okay, and that's it. And now I come here and I create a new function for my this thing, public void view text in pop-up. Okay, and then I can have, so this text t should be capital. I can come here and then I can have something like this, and I can just assert true, and then I can have element click dot is displayed, our is displayed function, and the locator is text. What was the locator? Let's check it. The text, view text in pop-up, this was the locator. So this was the locator, and that's it. Okay, now we come here and we call this function, which is e-commerce dot pages dot view text in pop-up, and that's it. We are done. And after the user clicks on view cart, the user lands on this page. Okay, now we have to do validation on this page, and then we have to proceed to checkout, right? So without wasting time, let's move ahead. Okay, so I'm on the cart page and let's validate certain things. So I can do one thing. I can validate if the product has been added to the cart or not. So this was my initially added product, so I will just delete this. So once I add the product to the cart, I can just verify the total amount over here. I can verify this price. I can verify the quantity, if the quantity entered by me was the same as for or not, right? So let's go ahead and let's do that. So let's click over here and let's click on this. So let me come here and let's create public void perform validation on cart. Okay, and then I will perform the validation like if the product has been successfully added to the cart or not. And how do I validate if the product is successfully added to the cart? I come here, I check this. You can see I am getting a p tag with a man over here, and men, and that is t-shirts. And I can also have this image. So this image basically, or probably this image will also verify that if product has been added to the cart or not. So I can click on this. I see that this is the image, right? This is the price, and I can also use this cross button. So I come here and I just click on this cross button, right? and this cross button over here, this shows me the class for the cross button. So let me use this dash I and this, and what is the cross button here, this one. So this is the class FAFA times. Okay, so I will use @class equal to this one. So if this cross button is visible, that means the product has been added to the cart, because if product was not added to the cart, that means the cross button were not there. So with this cross button we can verify that one product has been added to the cart. I'll just copy this, and I will not click on this cross button. I will just check that if this cross button is displayed or not, and that's it. I will not click on it. So I come here, I create private by cross button is equal to by.xpath. Alright, this way, and that's it. I come here, perform validation. So I will just check element util, or first I'll just check if this is true or not. So assert true, and I will check cross button is visible or not. So element util dot is displayed cross button. Alright, if this is visible, then move ahead. If not, then throw me an error. Okay, and I call this function here that please perform e-commerce pages dot perform validation on cart. Now remember one thing, guys, what I am showing you are the very basic things and very basic assertions to you. I want you to try it on your own and add more assertions, add more checks over here, find it out more how you can add more testing methodologies, and tell it to me. If you are not able to do so, don't worry, just give it a comment and I will do it for you. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the full flow of a Selenium workflow, which I am currently doing it. Okay, now user clicks on proceed to checkout. So this is my proceed to checkout button. So I will use this. This is an anchor tag with the text of proceed to checkout. So I will use like this a, and I will use text is equal to proceed to checkout, and this works. And I copy this. I come here and I write private by, and that is proceed to checkout button. Okay, and that is equal to by.xpath. Or let me write the xpath over here and semicolon, and then move ahead, and then I click public void. So someone will click on proceed to checkout. Okay, the checkout C is missing, so proceed to checkout, and come here and then element util dot click, and he or she will click on proceed to checkout, proceed to, not products, it should be proceed to checkout button. All right, and this P should be capital. Okay, I come here and I write e-commerce dot proceed to click on proceed to checkout. Now as soon as the user clicks on proceed to checkout, now the user is on the checkout page. So now what is pending? I need to do the validation on checkout page, and then I need to click on place order, and then the payment page will open for me. So let's do the validation on checkout page. What are the validation that we will be doing on checkout page? That if my address is visible or not. So I'll just show you one validation. You add your own. So I click, I will get this tag. So like this, and I will write, let me get this tag where it is. It is inside h3. So I will write h3, and I will use the text which is equal to this, and see, you can get this. Come here, e-commerce pages, and then inside this, just duplicate it, and this should be delivery address text. I'm just showing you one validation, you add more on your own, right? This is my delivery address text, and I come here, I write public void perform validation on the checkout page. Now I am on the checkout page. Is it? Yes, I am on the checkout page, and I will do assert true, and I will see if my thing is visible or not, is displayed. And what is my thing? My thing says that it is delivery address text. So I will see if my delivery address text is visible. All right, I paste it here and I assert it, right? And I just come here and I call that over here, e-commerce dot perform validation on checkout, perform validation on checkout page, and that's it, done. We have few more steps pending, and then we will be completing this project. Now the user clicks on place order button. So now the user will come here and the user will click on this place order button. Okay, where is this place order button? We need to find it first of all. This is where the place order button is located, inside this anchor tag. Okay, all right, this one, right? So copy this, and this is inside an anchor tag. So anchor tag, and I will use text is equal to place order. It is coming, copy it, come here, e-commerce pages, come, and then probably just duplicate this, and this is this is place order button, and the XPath goes like this. Okay, and then we come here and then we create a function, public void click on place order button over here, and then just do element util dot click, and then it will just click on place order button. That's it. Come here on this step, e-commerce pages, and just call this function, that is place order button, right? What is the next step? The next step is user enter the payment details. So once the user clicks on place order, user is on this page, and now user will enter the payment details right now over here. Okay, cool. So to enter the payment details, how many fields are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields are there. So we need to get the XPath for all these 5 fields, and then the user will click on pay and confirm order. So 6 XPath, 5 plus 1, 6 XPath we will need from this page. First is this. Okay, so I will just simply use the name tag, as this sounds more convenient. Control F, name, and then I will come here, not like this. Let me just check in which tag it is inside. It is inside an input tag. So input, and then I will have @name is equal to, and this thing, not name, name is not equal to name, name is equal to name on card. Okay, cool. So I got this, copy this, come here, my e-commerce pages, duplicate it, name on card field. Okay, and just paste it over here. Duplicate this for my card number. Where is my card number? It's over here. What is the name? Name is card number. Copy this, paste it here. It's coming. Just copy this, come here and replace it over here, and this would be card number field, right? The next one, duplicate it, come here, find the CVV, name is CVC. Okay, come here, replace the CVC, it's coming, copy this, come here, sorry, not here, you have to come here and you need to place it. So CVV field. Okay, duplicate it, come here, expiration. So for expiration, what you need to put, name expiry month, copy it, paste it here, same process you need to follow. It is coming, copy this, come here, paste it here, and then you can change it to expiry month field, and again duplicate it, and then you come here and then you need the year over here. Okay, so expiry year, copy this, come and save it here. Okay, now copy this again, come here, and then you can just paste it over here. Not like this, actually you need to replace input as well over here, and this will be expiry year field. And then the last, which is pay and confirm, I will need this button as well. For this I can use data QA or ID, anything works. I think ID will do fine. This is in button tag, and this will be ID, and this is equal to this one. So see, it's coming, just copy this, come here, duplicate this, and just will be, what is the button name? Pay and confirm. So pay button, I'll just name it as pay button, and I will just copy it and paste it over here, and that's it. Now let's just implement this, and I will write public void enter payment details. All right, now we are entering payment details, we don't need this, enter payment details. So use elementutil.send keys. If you remember, it was type function, and what do we need to type? First of all, we need name on card, card number, and CVV. Name on card field, and the text will be, let's say the name on card is Akash. Okay, duplicate it, and next field is card number, and the card number, let's say it is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. All right, and 0, and then duplicate it. The next is CVV, let's say the CVV is 311. CVV, it's not loading. Why is it not loading? Let me check. Okay, it's CVV field, not just CVV. So CVV field, right? Duplicate this again, come here. What was the next? Expiry month field and expiry year field. The next is expiry month field. Expiry month, let's say it is 09, and let's say expiry year field, and let's make it as 2030. Okay, you can also have a validation that expiry year should not be less than the current date. Let me know how will you do it. Okay, And now I have sent all of these keys, and now I will click on pay and confirm button. So here let me call first of all e-commerce pages dot enter payment details. That is done. And now the second one is pay and confirm button. So I create a new function, public void user clicks on pay and confirm button. Alright, and then we have element util dot click pay and confirm button, pay button. Right, we have already created pay button. I will just come here and I will call this e-commerce dot pay, and where is the pay enter clicks on pay and confirm button, and that's it, we have done. Now after entering all the information 1 2 3 4 5 6, anything you want to enter, you can just enter it over here. 311 02 2030. I am just showing you the happy case. I want you to do the negative testing as well. Pay and confirm, and your order has been successfully placed, and this congratulations screen has been presented. I will leave this last step for you. How will you perform this congratulations screen validation? So there's a download invoice button. Let me know in the comment section if you can do it. If yes, give it a thumbs up. Alright, so with this we have just completed all of our coding. Okay, alright, so that was it. We have done hell lot of things in our today's session. If you have liked the project, if you have built it on your own, give it a thumbs up please. It was a very long project and it has taken me a lot to build this and make this video for you, and your one like and one subscription can change my life. And remember one thing, if you just have watched till here and if you are listening this to what I'm saying right now, I just want you to drop a single comment stating that you have completed the project, so that I will know that is there someone who is getting benefited from this video and have completed the project completely, right? Alright, I will see you in the next video where we build more complicated and more complex project, and I will explain you more complex concepts of Selenium and Java as usual. So until then, I will take a leave now. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye, take care, good night.